After a psychologically destabilizing relationship, many survivors begin to notice a change that can feel surprisingly difficult to interpret. Decisions that once felt ordinary, such as what to eat, whether to respond to a message, how to structure a simple part of the day, can begin to feel heavier than expected. Not dramatic decisions, not defining moments, small ones. From the outside, this can look like hesitation. Internally, it can feel more like pressure, like movement requires more internal confirmation than it used to. For many survivors, this is one of the first places the shift in internal authority becomes visible in daily life. When this happens, people often question themselves. They may wonder why their timing feels less clear, why something that once felt automatic now requires more effort to move through. This is rarely about intelligence or capability. It is often about orientation. During prolonged relational instability, many people adapt by gradually reorganizing how decisions are made. Attention shifts away from internal signals and toward maintaining stability. Choices begin to feel less like expressions of preference and more like points of potential consequence. When authority transfers outward, even small decisions can begin to feel like negotiations. Not necessarily negotiations with another person anymore, but negotiations with uncertainty, with the possibility of misreading a situation, with the memory of outcomes that once carried emotional or relational impact. Many small decisions feel overwhelming, not because they are important, but because the system still remembers when decisions carried consequence. This does not mean decisional ability has disappeared. It often means the decision-making structure adapted to conditions where being right felt unusually significant. After the relationship ends, it is common to expect decisional clarity to return quickly. External pressure is gone. The environment has changed. But internal authority does not always reestablish itself at the same pace that external conditions shift. The absence of pressure does not immediately restore the feeling that choices are simple. Sometimes, the system continues to operate as though movement still requires monitoring, as though outcomes must still be anticipated. Because of this, ordinary decisions can feel disproportionately weighted, not because they truly carry that level of importance, but because the internal reference point has not yet fully recalibrated. Over time, many survivors notice that decisional effort begins to change in ways that are difficult to measure but easier to feel. This shift rarely arrives as a breakthrough. More often, it appears as a gradual reduction in how much internal negotiation is required to move through everyday moments. As this phase unfolds, the experience of decision-making often becomes less effortful in subtle ways. Not all at once, not permanently, but enough to be recognized over time. When this change is no longer misinterpreted as failure or weakness, it often becomes easier to allow the process to unfold without additional pressure. If structured support would feel steadying during this process of recovery, Power and Purpose Academy offers a paced environment designed to support the the gradual restoration of internal authority and decisional stability, without urgency and without performance pressure. You can explore that below whenever it feels appropriate. And if you prefer to continue orienting here for now, that is completely valid. We'll pause here.